What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are back with a BMW X3M 4A DC parts equal length mid-pipe. So it's an OPF delete, non-resonated for this car. This is a pre-LCI version and the exhaust that we made for this car is the LCI version. So this is a little bit confusing, but this is a pre-LCI with the new style OPF exhaust that you get in Europe. So it has the dual pipes going to the back that spreads into two from the left side of the gearbox and one to the right side of the gearbox. And we made a mid-pipe that fits onto this car, but also, of course also on the LCI models that also share the same exhaust. So we'll showcase you how that looks like under the car. First, we'll explain to you how the equal length works. So for cylinders 1 to 3, you have a longer downpipe, and for cylinders 4 to 6, you have a shorter downpipe. And that is the reason that these cars sound like 2 3 cylinders. And with the equal length mid-pipe, you'll equalize that length. It means you will make the exhaust from the left and the right the same length, which make it sound more harmonic. So that's what we're going to do on this car. We'll showcase you how the car sounds first, and then of course how the car looks from the underside with the mid-pipe installed. Also showcase you what the difference is between the pre-LCI versions and the LCI versions. So we'll call this the LCI version because generally this exhaust is found on the LCI models in Europe. So that's what we're going to continue with. So that is how the X3M sounds like with the stock exhaust. On this car we are also going to install a valve controller because, as you can hear, the valves do not open 100%. That is due to sound and emission regulations. But for this car we'll be installing a valve controller as well to make sure that we can open the valves 100%, which will make the car sound even better. So there we go, this is the mid-pipe that is going on that BMW X3M. And as you can see, this pipe over here is the one that makes the that equalizes the exhaust length. So this side has a little bend in it that makes it that this side will be a little bit longer compared to the stock downpipes. And when we go to here, you will see how the original construction looks like. So from here, if we start from the front of the car, you see the downpipes over here. So this is the longer downpipe, this is the shorter downpipe, and on this car it splits into two. So this is the little bridge, so I call it, that goes to the secondary cats on the left and the right side. And after that you see the OPF filters here and a resonator over here. So these will all be deleted, and on our new mid-pipe there's no resonator. So with the stock back box that is okay, and the stock downpipe that should be okay. We'll cut the exhaust over here to make sure that will fit. But the main difference between the pre-LCI and the LCI, so we still call this an LCI version because this is a in-between model, is that you have secondary cats. Normally on the X3M, the exhaust looks like the one on the floor. So it has two pipes going to the back on the same side of the vehicle. So normally this is where the gearbox sits, and on the new car, on the LCI models, the pipe also goes to the left from the gearbox. And as you can see on this car, it passes on the left and the right. And that means that BMW done that for a reason, of course. So here you see the little bend, that is to accommodate for the new emission regulations, which require BMW to fit two extra secondary cats before the OPFs. Normally On the pre-LCI models there was no secondary cat here. So that is why the LCIs are a little bit more silent compared to the pre-LCI models. Welcome on board the BMW X3M with the newly developed DCE parts equal-length mid-pipe. Really lovely. So we also installed a light module on this car to make sure that we do not get any check engine lights for cars without remaps. So this car will not. This car should not throw any check engine lights when driving around. We are now test driving the car, warming it up. So engine is still cold. But we can of course hear how the car sounds when you drive slowly. So we are now in Sport Plus mode. We also installed the valve controller, which we have already put into the fully open mode. And what we were trying to see is if this non-resonated mid-pipe is any droney. But I think it will be fine, because these cars are really well isolated, and the X3M tends to have more tends to muffle more in the rear muffler, which is of course a good thing if you do not want too much drone. So we now have the valves open. It's actually not too bad. So really lovely how this car now sounds. Let's put it into comfort mode with the valves closed and see how the car then sounds. So there we go, we have the valve controller set to fully closed mode. Of course, like we always say, do not use the fully closed mode when you also are planning to floor the car, because the back pressure may be too high if you do not open the valves according to the ECU or whatever. So we are now cruising around 80 kilometers an hour, 100 kilometers an hour. And even for a non-resonated version, it's not too bad, because we have original downpipes and the original back box. If you change to catless downpipes or change the rear muffler, your results may vary, of course. So on the G80, we think the best solution is the resonated one, but this one is a little bit louder. So, as you have seen in the video before, we have removed 5 mufflers, which is a good thing to, of course, reduce back pressure. And, of course, that makes the car sound a lot sportier. So we are now in efficient mode, cruising around. If we up the speed a little bit, car is now driving in the highest gear, and it's actually no drone at all. Really lovely. Actually, perfect daily driver, I would say, for those who want a tall car with a lot of performance and a nice sound. So the car has been warmed up. Let's head to a tunnel and see how it sounds then. Oh, burbles. That's cool. What the fuck? That's sick. So we have now set the car back into comfort mode, and of course you can also set the car back into serial mode with the valve controller, which means that the car will go back to the stock mode, react to the efficient and sport plus mode if you want, and That means you get a few options. If you push open the valve controller, it means it goes to 100% open. You can also fully close it. Go back to zero mode, and you also have a halfway mode, which means that the valves are 50% open. So we are now driving around. So we are now driving around on the highway. Really lovely. There's no much drone compared to stock. Of course, you hear a little bit more of the engine, but I do not think that it is a problem because, of course, with these cars, a little bit more sound is nothing too much, especially for a non-resonated mid-pipe for these cars. Really lovely how this car sounds. You truly hear these equal length. You'd also truly hear the equal length sound through the exhaust, which is of course a good thing. That's what we want. Equal length mid-pipe with our signature X-pipe. The X-pipe is not a regular X-pipe. We made it a little bit longer to give the exhaust flow a little bit more time to settle, which is a unique feature that you cannot find elsewhere in the market. So yeah, we pioneered that on the G80 and the G81. Lovely setup. Of course, we'll also offer the equal length single mid-pipe hybrid feature on these cars as well, but that's for a later stage. So we head into another tunnel, which is cool. Oh, can never get enough from a S58, of course. So this mid-pipe will be immediately available. Okay, what I was saying. This mid-pipe will be immediately available. So if you want to order, you can pre-order it from us. Just email or contact us by WhatsApp, and we will make sure that you will get a quotation for this mid-pipe, of course. The car also burbles nicely, so it's not too much. It's just the OEM burble, but that's a lovely feature. And this is how the car sounds on regular speeds, so nothing crazy. With the valves open and the gearbox in the second mode. Even with the valves open, there is no loud drone in the car. It does not make it annoying to drive around with the valves open, which is a good thing because of course want to have a sporty car without compromising too much on comfort. So there we go, we are back at our workshop. Super happy with the results of the equal length mid-pipe on this X3M. Personally, I think this is one of the perfect exhaust setups. You do not need more than this in terms of exhaust sound. Of course, if you want more performance, then you also need to change the downpipes and perhaps also the rear muffler. But on this car, if you just are looking for a little bit more sound, a little bit more, a lot more actually, then this is of course already a very nice exhaust setup. So we have installed the light module on this car to get rid of the errors, which is working nicely. And yeah, we're super happy with the results. Car sounds a little bit more louder than an M3 in my opinion, especially on load. But on standstill, when you rev the car, then the car is a little bit more silent compared to the M3, especially in the deep notes and on the higher end. But on load, then the car is crazy. So I want to thank you guys for watching, like and subscribe, and see you on the next video.